I want to make some treats again. So I'm gonna make like I think it's called truffles. Super easy. It's just cream cheese and sugar and vanilla with some chocolate in it. That's it. They're just like little balls you freeze up. No cooking except for melting the chocolate, but you can do that in a microwave if you have one. Before I start, I need some, I think, a bit more powdered sugar than this, so I'll just blend some sugar up in the food processor, and then I'll start the truffle recipe. This was working better with the blender. I'll go take the blender out. Okay, powdered sugar. Okay, so recipe is super easy. You're gonna take a full package of cream cheese. I've got the light one here, Philadelphia Light. A full package, I don't remember how many grams it is. Might be like half of this container, but I never measure anything. I just go with taste because, well, I'm the one that's gonna eat it, so just want it to taste good. Okay, so I think it's a bit more than the small package. Kind of looks like a cup, a bit more than a cup. And to this, I'll add some powdered sugar. Just eyeballing this. This looks like about a fourth of a cup. Start with that, and I'll taste it. Oops. You want to use powdered sugar because you don't want big chunks of sugar in there, because this isn't going to be cooked. It's going to be eaten like partially frozen, kind of raw, so powdered sugar is the way to go. Okay, that's a good consistency. See no sugar chunks in there. I'll just see if it's sweet enough to my taste. That's pretty good. So I put about a cup of Philly and about a fourth of a cup of powdered sugar, around that ratio. Next, I'm gonna put a bit of vanilla. About 2 teaspoons. This dessert is gonna be decadent. It's gonna be very rich. It's not a dessert that you binge. I'm gonna like eat like 1 or 2 at a time because it's not very healthy, but I feel like treats are rarely healthy when they're very good. Okay, taste this. Oh, that's actually very good. Wash my hands. That's like the quickest little treat ever. And you can do it with like things you have in your pantry probably. So next I'm gonna melt some chocolate. I don't have a microwave. So I'm using this 82% cocoa from Costco. It comes in packages of 6. So yeah, I'm gonna melt like 3/4 of a bar in a bain-marie on the stove. So last time I calculated a full bar of this of 100 grams was like about half of a cup. So I'm going like a bit less than half of a cup. I'm gonna reserve like maybe two 2 big chunks on the side, because this is how we're gonna like temper our chocolate and melt this on a bain-marie. I'll bring you with me. Alright, so I'm putting this on about high. Hope I'm showing this right. Okay, you'll be sitting on the nutritional yeast container. So we're gonna melt this chocolate, and then this will be going in our Philadelphia mixture. The 2 pieces I put aside. This will be, I think it's called tempering, I'm not too sure. So tempering chocolate, I'm not too sure about all the science behind it, but usually it just makes it so like when you're making a chocolate bar, it snaps properly instead of just melting between your fingers. So usually I do this when I make like chocolate bars or like peanut butter cups. I want like a shinier, a better chocolate that doesn't just melt right away when you touch it. So that's how you do it, you temper. And it also helps it set properly. Now I'm realizing that I'm actually gonna put the chocolate directly into the cream cheese mixture. At first I wanted to do like, hello, oh. At first I wanted to do cream cheese balls, put them in the freezer and then dip them in chocolate. So that's why I wanted to temper my chocolate, but I actually decided that I'm gonna put the chocolate directly into the mix, not dip it or anything. So I actually don't need to temper it. I'll just scratch that and we'll just melt the whole bar into there. So about half a cup. We're in no rush because this is already a very quick recipe and it's pretty much done. So we're just like, once this has melted, I'll just pour it in. I'll let it cool just a little bit. I'll pour it in the Philadelphia mixture. We'll cool it for a couple of minutes in the fridge, and then I'll make little balls and keep them in the freezer, and that's it. The treats are done. Very, very easy, very, very quick. And that's how I like my treats. I like them easy and quick. I hope this is not like damaging my pot here. These pots, I don't know if you can see it well. These pots are my favorite. They're beautiful and it's like the most expensive thing I own in my dollar store kitchen. These are from our place. I can put the website in the description. It's coming along. It won't take a long time. Okay, turn this off, and there's just like 2 or 3 little chunks in there. I'll let the residual heat melt this. Pretty much all melted. I'll just let this cool about 2 minutes. I don't want to put like super warm chocolate in my cream cheese mix. Okay, this is cool enough. So I will pour my chocolate into the cream cheese mixture. If you don't have these little tiny spatulas, they're amazing. They make it so you don't waste anything. Like, you can get everything in that little pot. And this can just go in my mouth. This is so pretty. So give this a good mix, and then we'll taste it again, because this is the best part. By the way, I'm just making this for my boyfriend and I. That's why I don't mind putting my fingers in there. If I was making this for family or for an event or whatever, I would usually put gloves on, and like I make it super sterile, like I'm tattooing. I don't usually put my finger in there when I cook for other people, but this will just be for my boyfriend and I, so we don't mind sharing germs. Honestly, I'm probably the one that will eat it all. So. Oh, this is beautiful. Looks like icing. It's basically icing. Cream cheese icing. That's it. The mix is done. It might be too dark. My apartment is very dark. I'll taste this one more time. Why is unhealthy thing? Why are unhealthy things so delicious? It's very good. I'll put this in the fridge to set it up a bit, harden it up. Actually, I'll put it in the freezer. It'll take, it won't take as much time. So yeah, I'll put it in the freezer for, I don't know, half an hour or something. I'll check the time. Okay, I decided I'm gonna make some peanut butter cups, also like Reese's kind of. I think I'll put my apron on for this one. I don't want peanut butter on my beautiful To the Stars t-shirt. Oh yeah, if you don't know To the Stars, go check him out. I'm a very, very big Tom DeLonge fan. But yeah, I won't talk about that, but go check it out. Okay, so this is, again, so simple. Usually you'll just take peanut butter. I have a little bit of peanut butter left here from Costco. It's hardened up a lot, so I'm gonna try to do something with this, because I'm not gonna use it for toast. And I am gonna be tempering my chocolate for this one. I think I'll use about 2 bars for these PB cups. So yeah, I forgot to say, you're just gonna need some peanut butter. I also got some almond butter here we're not really eating, so I'll put this in there. Powdered sugar, a bit of coconut oil to put in your chocolate, and chocolate. And that's it, right? Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, I'll try to work with this a bit. I'll add almond butter. I often do PB cups like this, but I don't think I've ever done it with almond butter. And I think that would be really good. It's gonna be a bit healthier than the typical Kraft peanut butter that's in my cupboard. I leave that one for my boyfriend. He likes the creamy peanut butter. I'll try a wooden spoon. That peanut butter hardened up a lot. While I'm mixing this, I'll melt the chocolate on the stove. Same thing as the truffles. I'll just break it into pieces and melt it mon bain-marie on the stove. This time I will put aside a couple of chunks to temper it. I'm not a pro at this at all. Somebody in the comments can probably tell me the right way to do this. But my whole life is just improvising. And as long as it turns out delicious, I don't mind not doing it 100% correct. There's a cat hair again. Not sharing this with the public. So if we eat a cat hair or two, I'm okay with that. It's just a reality of having cats. Cat owners will tell you. I'll put like 4 pieces aside to temper it. Might be too much, I'm not sure. Maybe 3 pieces. Okay, I'll melt this on the stove. Put this aside and I'll try to break this peanut butter a little bit more while this is melting. Okay, this is good enough. I'll put some powdered sugar in it, in this. There's about, I would say, a cup of peanut butter in there and almond butter. Maybe a bit more, a cup and a quarter, let's say. So, how much powdered sugar? Maybe a quarter of a cup would be good. It's about a quarter of a cup. We'll start with that and I'll taste it. Little taste test. Could use a bit more. Let's say like this one. Maybe this will end up being like a third of a cup instead of a fourth. Again, I don't really follow recipes to the T for like easy stuff like this because it's more like a flavor thing, and every time I follow a recipe online it's always too sweet for me. So usually what I'll do is I'll look at a recipe online and just look at the ingredients, and I'll just look at the ratios like quickly to see like there's a little bit of this and just a lot of this thing and whatever, and then I'll just do it to taste. It's always better like this. I was going to add a teaspoon or so of salt, but my almond butter is pretty salty already, so I think that is going to be like a perfect sweet and salty ratio. Yeah, that's perfect. So about a third of a cup, I guess. Okay, the chocolate is done melting. This is not the proper way to temper chocolate. If this is something that you're interested in learning, I would suggest you look at chocolatiers videos, because I'm not a professional. This is just what works for me. I'll add a teaspoon of coconut oil. This will allow my chocolate to be shiny. And the residual heat will heat this up. Talking about residual heat, It will also melt my 3 other chocolate pieces I have here. This is my version of tempering chocolate. Like I said, that's not the professional way of doing it. Maybe what I'm doing isn't even doing anything to the chocolate, but this is just how I do it. I'm not scared of not doing it right, because at the end of the day, it's peanut butter and chocolate, so can you really mess that up? Even if it's not pretty at the end, it's gonna be plenty good. Okay, I don't need this bain-marie anymore. So what I usually do if I want my peanut butter cups to be prettier, I will put this peanut butter mix in the freezer or fridge for a little bit, and until I can make like a dough, and then I'll flatten it up, and then I'll like cut some little circles in there so it's all pretty and even. But these peanut butter cups are gonna be eaten really quick, and it's just for my boyfriend and I, so I really don't care if they're pretty or not. You see all the residual heat melted the chocolate, and this is beautiful, beautiful chocolate. So yeah, I don't mind what they look like. I'm gonna need a spoon. Okay, so this is the simplest thing ever. Like I said, I'm not looking to have like super pretty PB cups. I just want a cute snack. Not a cute snack, a good snack, whatever. Again, I'm gonna say this a lot, but you can add collagen, protein powder, or anything like that. When I feel healthier, that's what I do. But 'tis the season to be junky and just consume unhealthy snacks, because it's winter and I feel like hibernating, and that's it. This is dark chocolate, so it's a lot healthier for you though. Dark chocolate contains like fiber and protein and good fats and antioxidants. It's actually good for you in small quantities. So like, I'm not gonna eat a PB cup. I mean, I'm not gonna eat like 20 PB cups. Like, this is just a snack. I'm gonna eat like, oops, one here and there. So yeah, I didn't mention, but I'm just pouring chocolate into muffin liners. I got 18 out. We'll see if that's too much or if it's enough. I think I'm just gonna do 12. So you want chocolate to put on top also, so keep that in mind. And you just want like a fine, like just a little bit, a fine little slice at the bottom, so not too thick, because you don't want to bite into a super big chunk of chocolate. Like this one here might be too big. Okay, and then you just put a bit of peanut butter in there. Again, if I was to make this prettier, I would cut circles and whatever, but I'm just putting a chunk in there. It's homemade, so it can look ugly. It's okay. I probably wouldn't be happy buying this. Well, I wouldn't mind actually, but some people wouldn't like buying something ugly like this. But for me, as long as it tastes good, I don't care. I'm putting about like a teaspoon in there, and I don't think it's enough, so maybe a tablespoon would be better actually. I think I'll end up having pretty like fat peanut butter cups, but I'm fine with that. Okay, I'll start with this. Oh, maybe more in this one. Okay, that's good. I'll show you up close. So this is the ugly but delicious mess. And now I'm just gonna pour some chocolate on top. I'm not even sure if I'll have enough chocolate for all 12. I for sure put a bit too much at the bottom of a couple of these ones. I feel like when I'm recording, it's never the same result as when I'm not. Yeah, I don't have enough chocolate. I'll melt another bar. I think maybe I'll have enough to make 2 or 3 more. Okay, this is melted. I think I can do maybe 2 more. I didn't have enough chocolate to temper this batch of melted chocolate. So it'll be a great comparison. I'll be able to compare both to see if it actually makes a difference. I could probably do another one. So this peanut butter cup isn't going to be like a store-bought one. Like, the chocolate is going to be a lot harder. And you're gonna have to keep these in the fridge or the freezer. But that's what homemade is about. It's about things spoiling fast and needing to be preserved because it's not processed with a ton of chemicals. So that's actually good. If you keep these in the fridge for a while, they can last a long time actually. It's basically sugar. So, well, it's actually, I'm talking like it's super unhealthy, but it's not actually. Like, the powdered sugar obviously isn't good, but the 82% chocolate is good, and the peanut butter and almond butter, I mean, they're basically fats and protein. So I mean, it's not all bad. It's a lot better than the store-bought Reese's. Just want to make sure there's no bubbles in the chocolate. So yeah, it's a good treat to just have. So I'll put these into the freezer so they set, and in the meantime I think the truffles mix is ready. So I'll clean this up, put this in the freezer, and I'll be back. I'm so messy, I put chocolate on my freezer. Okay, the simple cream cheese truffles seem to be set. If it's not, I'll try it out, and if it's not, I'll just put them in the freezer a bit longer. So I want little balls so I can just pop them in my mouth real quick. I think this is good. Keep in mind, these will be staying in the freezer. I'll take 1 or 2 out in the fridge so they just thaw a bit and eat them directly from the fridge. My goal when I'm making treats is always like to make them super easy and super quick, because I got a lot of work to do, but I also want to eat good food. But fast and easy is always my motto. I've got a design I have to finish for a client. If you If you can't guess, I'm a tattoo artist. I won't be talking about tattoos a lot on this channel, but if you are interested in seeing the type of work I do, you can check it out. Check me out on Instagram at Kiwi Tattoos. There's a couple of Kiwi tattoos. I'm the one with the Canadian flag in my bio. If you don't know what the Canadian flag looks like, so that's pretty much it for the truffles. I think I can do one more. I don't think these would really be called truffles. I'm not sure. Okay, that's it. These will be sitting in the freezer for a couple of hours, and then I'll pop them in the probably in the container, and then when I'm ready to eat some, I'll either thaw them a bit in the fridge for later, or just thaw them for like 5 minutes or so before just popping it in my mouth. These are so delicious, honestly. Yeah, I'll put them in the freezer, and I'll still do a little cold taste test with you. And in the meantime, we'll wait for the peanut butter cups to harden up also, and I'll go draw for my clients right now. Okay, everything is ready and out of the freezer. I don't see a difference between the one I tempered and the one I haven't. So I guess it's just because that's not really tempering. So whatever. I'll know this for next time. But these are looking pretty good. PB cups. Like, you gotta admit, they look better than Reese's. Oh my god, so cute. Yum yum. And the cream cheese truffles are all frozen up. I should let them thaw just a little bit before eating. Oh, actually, it's pretty soft. Okay, taste test. I don't want a whole thing because it's getting late. PB cup. This is excellent. If you like really sweet stuff, you could go heavier on the sugar, but I really like the balance between the salty and sweet. This is a perfect recipe for me. I love it. And the cream cheese truffle. This is danger zone. I'm afraid I'll eat all of these in a couple days, and I really shouldn't. But wow. Please do this recipe. It's so good, so simple. You probably have all of this in your fridge. So I'll just put everything in the fridge and or freezer. Should I take them out of there? No. I'll keep them in their little liners. This one is so fat. Holy. It's humongous. And I'm happy the bottoms are pretty nice too. You don't see like any peanut butter at the bottom, so it's entirely covered. These are dangerous. So good. Maybe don't do this recipe if you don't want to start a new addiction. These are really good. And there you have it. 2 super simple sweet snacks. So let me know if ever you make this recipe, and on my end I'll try to resist eating them all within a week. Thank you so much for being with me today, and have a great day. Bye.